In Movies and Money, Toy Story 5 led the way with one of the best animated openings ever. Movie man Erik Childress, the founder of the Movie Madness podcast, is on the scene for us. Erik, this Toy Story brought in $160 million in ticket sales at the box office.
There's nothing wrong with nearly a $160 million opening, the second best ever for an animated film, and one of the top 25 openings ever, period. It's the biggest opening of the year, but is going to face some competition in the coming weeks. Minis and Monsters we'll be talking about next week, opening on Wednesday before the July 4th holiday. Then just over a week later, Disney's live-action Moana opens, and we will see just how many family dollars are free to spend on all three. At this point, Toy Story 5 is the film to beat between them, and is almost certainly going to lead the box office for a second straight week.
Supergirl soars into theaters this weekend. Here's a clip of that film.
My cousin and I have very different ideas about what it means to be a hero. He sees the good in everyone. And I see the truth.
Any early indications on what Warner Brothers can expect?
Supergirl is certainly going to get a lot of attention, in the headlines probably more than with audiences. According to tracking services, interest in Supergirl is low and seems to be getting lower. Though I haven't seen the film yet, now I've heard mixed reviews so far of the new film, and Warner Brothers may not be happy if the numbers for Supergirl come in much closer to The Flash than it does their new universe reboot from last year. On the other hand, Jackass Best and Last is apparently the final film from the original MTV crew, and this is a franchise that is only $84 million away from grossing $500 million across the globe over 5 films, for a fraction of the budget. I would not be surprised if this final one does get over $20 million this weekend, like the others.
Olivia Wilde is debuting her latest directorial effort in limited release, and it's your recommendation of the week.
It is, Angie, and I had the honor of hosting the film as the opening night presentation of the Chicago Critics Film Festival, which I produced this year. Olivia Wilde was in attendance, and I believe the invite to be her best work to date. It is based on a 2020 Spanish film about a couple played by Wilde and Seth Rogen, who invite their new upstairs neighbors for dinner, played by Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz. The evening hardly goes as planned, as each of the couple's personal issues are exposed, frequently with hilarious results, and the tension only escalates from there. The cast here is all good and very funny, as director Wilde takes what could feel like a staged theatrical production and finds interesting ways to open it up, while still making the apartment feel like an enclosure that is going to either suppress these feelings or burst when they must confront themselves. I make it sound like a thriller, but this is actually a very, very funny movie. One of the best comedies of the year. It opens in a few theaters this week and will expand in the coming weeks. Make a point to seek out the invite.
I'm still catching up on movies, but I did see Michael over the holiday weekend with friends and family. We loved it. The hot summer box office rocks on toward a record. Thank you, Erik.
Thank you, Angie.